Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Way That I See It. My name is Lucy Superfox, and this is my podcast. So, guess I really just wanted to do a bit of a recap podcast. I've got some clips for you. So, whether you listen or you are watching, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any other reputable podcast platform, then I've got some clips for you of my time in Vegas. But what I wanted to share with you today is really how I believe that opportunity came about, some thoughts on manifestation, and then really just kind of how I'm feeling about the whole experience. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to drop in the clip here from just before I went on stage, and then I'm going to drop in straight after that the clips on basically what it looked like, how it was, some of the things I said. Obviously is quite specific to my audience, but I'm going to drop a few clips in for you now.
Hi everybody, so makeup is mostly done. I'm going to let the makeup artist do like the contouring, the blush and all that jazz. I'm not particularly good at it, but I've got the base on, I've got the base of my eyes on, so if she wants to make anything, basically do all the highlighting and low lighting, I'm going to leave that to the professionals. But yeah, super happy with my blow dry from Dry Bar, kind of like, they call it a Mai Tai, so it's like vibey waves. I'm going to put my dress on in a second, got my jewellery on, love this necklace. My earrings did not arrive in time, but actually it's probably better, so these are a bit smaller. So not going to get in the way of my microphone. So I am really excited. I am a little bit nervous. As you can see, I've caught the sun a little bit and got fake tan, so I definitely need a little bronze on the old face. But I am nervous. I'm not nervous because I don't think I'll be good. I'm nervous because I really care about the people in the room, and I really care about saying something that actually is going to inspire them and lift them up, not like a token gesture. And I absolutely know that I can bring the energy. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, it's bloody weird learning a script. Like if you ever see me present anything, obviously there's no script to that. Or it's a very loose script. You know, a lot of TV work, for example, is a loose script with bullet points. But this is kind of like quite tight because obviously everything has to be checked and approved, and, you know, just also so that you actually stay on message. And that's just a whole new experience for me to bring the energy with a script. So yeah, I've got a bit of a headache. I think that's probably just like a little bit of stress. I'm gonna have some paracetamol, just take the edge off that, because the last thing you want to be sat backstage like that. Yeah, but otherwise, excited, ready to go. It's going to be a full-on week the rest of the week as well. So when I get back tonight, I might have a Prosecco with everyone if I fancy it. I haven't really had a drink. I haven't had a drink since I've been here. I had a champagne on the plane because I was in premium, and they were like, do you want a champagne? And I was like, yeah, because I'm in premium. And on the way back, I'm in business, so I'll probably have a champagne then. But that'll be it. Like, my relationship with alcohol has changed completely. So I will share some clips in this video, no doubt. I would do a little afterwards video, but I'll also share some clips. They'll most likely be portrait because the Arbonne girls know exactly what they're doing when it comes to content. But yeah, I will film some clips in between, and I'll see you on the other side.
Please welcome from the United Kingdom, National Vice President, Lucy Superfox.
Hi everybody, the Pocket Rocket is in the building. Huge congratulations to all of you for being here. So, yeah, go on, give yourself a round of applause. So my guess is that those of you who are here in Las Vegas are in Power Live because you want it all. Yeah, you want the big vision of Arbonne. Babes, I was the same, right? I joined because I wanted all of it. I work my business because I wanted it all. It's passion and energy. We have to want it. Not like we have to want it, right? So, okay, I can say, I love you, or I can say, I love you, all right? And trust me, the energy behind those three things is seriously different and gets very different results. So, what energy are you bringing to your business? And ultimately, it comes down to that one big question. Do you want it? Do you want it?
So I hope you loved it. My topic, as you probably heard, was having it all. And one of the biggest things that I believe in life is that the only limitations that exist are the ones in our mind. And when we argue for those limitations, we get to keep them. Our brain will always try to prove us right. And so if we keep arguing for why we can't have something, why we can't do something, why something isn't possible for us, that is what we will get. our only limitations are the ones that we create. And so really that was a topic of dreams for me, to be able to share that on stage with, you know, thousands of people was honestly a dream come true moment. So here's what I wanted to share with you about manifesting that experience. So I didn't actually know until after that experience that I had manifested it. So here's what I mean. There was a picture of me. So basically the live stream had like a boom camera, and the boom camera went around the back of me. And there's a screenshot picture. And seeing as I'm editing this, I may as well drop it in. I don't normally edit my podcast, as you guys know, so I'll drop it in here. And this picture is kind of from behind, right? So you can see me looking out on an audience. Now, what's crazy, guys, and I can actually show you here, I'm actually live, is this picture is on my vision board. It's a picture of a girl who's got blonde hair. Now, she's got a handheld mic and I had a headset, right? But she stood there with the audience and the picture's taken from behind. That picture has been on my vision board for a couple of years. And the craziest thing is the two pictures above it on my vision board, and I can take those off as well, but I'll leave them, is a picture of Las Vegas and a picture of a sign that says reserved for keynote speaker. How freaking wild is that? So here's what I mean. I did not know I manifested that until after the fact. And this is what happens so much with manifestation, is we don't actually realize we're manifesting all the time. Like everything in life, whether it's creating, you know, achieving goals, creating things, or you want to call it manifesting, to me, they are all exactly the same thing. And we're always manifesting, we're always creating. It's just whether or not we're doing it on purpose. Now, I didn't intentionally set out to manifest that, but I did set intentions to go to Vegas, to be a speaker, and to get keynote at some point in the future. I just didn't realize those three things would come together to be the closing speaker on our launch night in Las Vegas, right? I didn't know that. And so that's worked out well. That's where manifestation has worked out well, but it doesn't always work out that way. Like when we're not intentional, sometimes that can actually backfire and bite us in the bum, and we can manifest something that we didn't want, right? Because our intention was scrappy. We weren't clear about what we were focused on. So I think one of the biggest things for me about this experience is the fact that most people believe manifesting is about being obsessed with your goals. And I actually don't think it always is, subject to the topic. So let me explain that. Manifestation to me, and the 5 steps I explain in my Mastering Manifestation bundle, and then I obviously go into kind of some of my inner secrets and stuff in that bundle, which you can unlock right now in the shop at lucysuperfox.com. It's on 65% off, so you want to get your hands on that. But what I talk about is I say, know what you want, do the work to believe you can have it. So know what you want and why you want it. Do the work to believe you can have it. Make space. So basically make room for that to happen in your reality. Take inspired action, right? So that's action that feels good, action that feels aligned, and trust the process. And if you can't trust the process because you haven't done one of steps 1 to 4 fully, and then you need to become the person who has the thing, right? That's the missing trick. That's the missing secret, is that most people don't become the person that they need to be. So actually, even if they manifest the experience, whether it's more money and opportunity, it doesn't stick, right? That isn't something that continues because they haven't become the person they need to be. So for me, in this particular experience, I hadn't sat out, I wasn't specific, like, right, that's it, I'm hustling and I need to email them every day and I want this opportunity in Vegas. That's not what happened at all, right? But I'd set my intentions. That was on my vision board. This is who I want to be. I love speaking. I love Arbonne. I feel, you know, I'm really aligned. I was definitely going to Vegas. So as soon as they opened registration, I was probably one of the first people in the UK to register, right? I took action. I got the dog sorted for the week. I thought about what outfits I would wear. And so I made space, took inspired action. I trusted the process. A few weeks later, got a phone call out the blue. We'd love you to speak in Vegas. That opportunity then expanded over the following weeks to basically become this closing moment, right? So I didn't sit there and intentionally manifest this aggressively. But what happened was I did not have any resistance. I did not have any stories about why this could be not. I didn't have any limitations. I didn't have any limiting stories or beliefs about why this thing couldn't happen for me. And so as a result, it was a much easier manifestation to come about because there were no reasons why not, right? There were all the reasons why for and none of the reasons why not. So where there's things in my life that maybe haven't manifested so easy or haven't come about so easy is normally because I've got more experience in that area, or more experience with that thing. And those experiences have contrast. So maybe they're not always positive. Maybe they've been up and down. Maybe they've not been, you know, always just an easy route to success. And that's just life, right? So I have limiting stories, limitations, beliefs, negative connotations, whatever you want to call them, stories about some of my other goals. Now, as much as I might do the work to clear those stories, sometimes there's just still so much energetic resistance towards the thing that I say that I want. And so as a result, this is why those other things don't always manifest so easy. So right now, if there's something in your life that you really, really want, have you actually considered that maybe the fact that you really, really want it is putting you in an energy of lack? So rather than putting you in the energy of abundance, of being open, of being like ready for it, of making space, of taking, actually, have you ever thought that the desperation or the need or the want of this thing is actually putting you in the opposite vibration? So we don't get what we want, right? We don't get what we want, we get what we are. And so if you're actually vibrating on a level of lack, of desperation, of negativity, of stress, of needing something, that's not the energy of wealth, abundance, success, growth, happiness. Like they're two opposite vibrations. And so what most people say is, I want this, I know why I want it, I've made space, I've taken action, I'm trusting the process. The energy is off, right? The energy is all wrong because the energy is upside down. So often if there's something that you really, really want from a place of need or lack, you're actually not in the energy of the thing. The reason we want the thing is we believe that when we have it, we're going to feel different, right? So what we have to focus on is, how would we feel if we already had the thing and be in that energy? Now that's hard because life is difficult and you often want things because you don't have them. So you see something you don't have, you go, that's why I want it. But the key is in that moment to then step into the energy of what it would be like to have already had it, right? You can call yourself delusional, right? I get it, right? I've been that person. I'm like, that's fucking delusional. How could I say that? But the truth is, that's what manifestation is. That's what vibration is. You've got to become an energetic match for the thing that you want. And this is why sometimes people don't believe in manifestation, because they know what they want, they know why they want it, they're taking action, they're doing the things, and nothing happens. But what they're missing is the energy that they are doing it in, right? So this is what I want you to think about, is what energy am I giving to my goals? What energy am I putting behind these things that I say that I want to manifest? Because if that energy is off, if that energy is negative, if that energy is just like, it's not going to happen. So let me give you an example of something that was easy and fun, and I laughed my head off this week. So I taught a workshop on Tuesday in person about designing a dream life. And I was talking about manifestation. And I said, the best way to kind of figure out that this process works and have a bit of fun with it is to have fun. Is to pick something super light, super easy with a relatively close timeline, like manifest a surprising £10 by tomorrow, see a blue butterfly by Friday, right? So that's what I said. And then on Wednesday, I'm out walking the dogs Wednesday morning. And I'm not even joking, and I'll try and drop a little screenshot in here. I'm not even joking. I'm walking with Josh and this blue butterfly's flying around my face. I laughed my head off, right? Because it's just a reminder. Now, and let's talk about manifestation, let's talk about science. It's just a reminder that we can manifest, because I had no resistance about seeing a blue butterfly. I wasn't trying to see a blue butterfly. I wasn't obsessively looking for a blue butterfly. It just happened because I had no resistance and no limiting stories. So ask yourself that question: where are my limiting stories? Where am I holding myself back from seeing the things I want to see? So with that being said, what also happens when we set an intention for what we want, we feel good about it, we don't have limiting stories, because our brain always wants to be right. So if you've got limiting stories, it'll be right about the limitation. If you've got no limiting stories, it'll be right about the abundance or the thing that you want. When you focus on what you want and you have no limiting stories and your brain wants to be right, your reticular activating system will look for the evidence. So subconsciously, I was potentially looking for that blue butterfly because I had no stories to say I wasn't going to see it. And so whether or not you want to get behind the science or whether you want to get behind the woo-woo doesn't really matter. But what matters most is that if there is something right now that you want in your life, you are going to have to clear all the stories why you can't have something. And if you're not willing to do that work, then I promise you it's going to feel like an uphill battle. So I personally have had so much work to do over the last year and a half, like on certain stories that I've created, that I've, which is mental, because I was someone that was manifesting like this for a couple of years. And then I did the whole too good to be true, and then ended up blocking loads of resistance and putting loads of resistance on my path and creating all these stories, right? We're in a time of, global trauma. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But the truth is I created it. I've created my entire reality. So what's great about that is I get to change it. What's shit about that is I have to change it. So the same thing applies to you. So if there's something in your life right now that you want to change or you want to be different, you have to be the one that changes. You have to be the one that does different, that is different, that becomes different. And this is why I do the work that I do. This is why I share what I've learned, because without me sharing what I've learned, I wouldn't be that integral person. I wouldn't be that truthful person. I wouldn't be the person I am today. And so what I hope you take from this more than anything is that you can manifest anything that you want, but you just have to believe you can have it, and you have to vibrate at the energy of the thing that you want. Now, one of the biggest barriers that I see that comes up for people around manifestation is the speed of the manifestation. And the reason why the blue butterfly could show up straight away was there was no A, had no limitations, but also B, there was no co-creation. I didn't need anything other than a blue butterfly, right? But if, let's say, you're trying to manifest something that involves other people, or as another experience, or has an impact on other environments or people or places or whatever, sometimes the universe needs time to rearrange that energy, right? Sometimes time is a factor. It's not a limiting factor, but it is a factor in manifestation. And this is why we must trust the process, so we don't put the brakes on before the manifestation has a chance to come. Because we will always be manifesting, guys. We will never arrive. There's never a moment where we get there and go, cool, I'm all done. This is it. Because we're actively creating all the time through our energy, through our intention. So enjoy the process, because that is life. That's what the process of life is. I've been that person. I've been frustrated by manifestations not coming, things not showing up. And again, that's not the energy of the thing that I want. So by staying or remaining in the energy, I'm not any closer to creating the things that I desire or dream of. So if right now you are looking for support for mastering manifestation, you can get the Mastering Manifestation bundle workbook and a couple of video modules for 65% off in the shop. So lucysuperfox.com/shop. You can unlock those now for the next week. So if you're watching this, listen to some recording, you can still find it in the shop, but it might not be on sale. So I hope that you enjoyed hearing some snippets from Vegas. I hope that you got to take something from this story. I hope that in some level this resonated. And I just want you to know that for me personally, right now, manifestation is something that I plan to enjoy. I plan to have fun with. I plan to trust in. I will share with you my little manifestations as they come about. But more than anything, you need to know that you have the power to change your life. And whether or not you do is up to you. So that was the way that I see it. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next episode.